Hi, it's Chris with Implied Music, and it's Gizmo Sunday. Listen, I've been getting a lot of questions about the display system that I use to show keyboard and notation, chords, and things like that during my tutorials. So today I want to talk about the Chordie app. We're going to talk about Chordie. Well, Chordie is its own app. It runs for me when I'm teaching in parallel with my DAW, with Logic. And of course, it'll run with other things in the background as well. It has no sounds built in. So I'm working with it today using my Piano Tech piano sound as the piano. Now, it gets MIDI input and translates it into visual knowledge. And you can see there's 4 main screens. We've got just a chord display. Right here, it says this is a C chord, and it's right, it is a C chord. And if I change, it'll show the chord and the inversion. It's nice to have slash chords. It doesn't understand ambiguous chords very well, I'll say that. But that's a pretty complicated chord, A7 flat 9, and I think that's right. That's what I'm thinking of. However, if you do look over at the manuscript view, you can see that what has to be a C sharp has been notated as a D flat, and that's just bad. And down here, you see the same thing. This is not good coding. It knows it's an A7 chord, and yet it's spelled that key as D flat. Not my favorite thing. Now, that could be changed by going up here to Options and the Chordie app options, key, MIDI input, and changing the key. For instance, if I changed to the key of D, which, has a couple of sharps in it, it's spelled correctly. It's the same notes, but now it's spelled correctly. But you can't really count on that. And so I've had some frustration with spellings of things, but it's better than nothing. And it is pretty responsive. It will hold keys if I use the pedal. See, it changed the color slightly, right? It's pretty nice. And then over here, you've got a fretboard view. If I wished I could have every possible way to play that D displayed, there are some problems with the view here as well. I mean, it's not always my sort of first choice way of playing these things. I might make other choices about how I was going to play those notes on the fretboard, but it's pretty useful. And all in all, Chordie, when sort of tucked into other systems, has become an important part of my sort of display and teaching environment. I use it when I had to use it back when we were on Zoom during the pandemic, and I was teaching and showing things to students all the time. Okay, now, Chordie needs to be connected online all the time. It will, whenever you start it, it will actually connect to its home server and check on you. And, that's a bit of a pain in the ass, too, I have to say. I'll just excuse my French, but there it is. Listen, so that's Chordie. And it takes a while to quit because it has to call home. Very irritating, right? See, it's taking forever to quit. So the other app that I use a lot is Synthesia, and Synthesia will play tunes for you. It comes with a whole bunch of them. Pachelbel's Canon in D. Watch and listen. So it sort of like flies down at you, and you can like track how to play. And it's kind of like Guitar Hero, isn't it? Here it's color-coded left and right hands. Pretty useful, right? It will read MIDI files that you give it as well. And so what I do when I'm teaching my shorts is I will load a MIDI file and screen capture it. It has its own piano sound, and it's not a great piano sound. We're not super happy with it. But it's good enough to, sort of follow along and hear harmonies and stuff. Well, the other thing you can do with it, we're going to go back all the way, is what they call free play. And free play is terrific because it works in the opposite direction. Now, at 120 beats a minute, things disappear quickly, don't they? But if I just take the speed down, it'll stick around and you can visualize things a little bit better. So here's a little arpeggio exercise. but I'm just playing in real time. You can do oddball things with it as well. In settings, Synthesia allows you to do a bunch of things, including adding note labels and a little explosive animations at the bottom. You can change the color theme from blue to green to etc. And if you want to go even further, add things that will allow you to sort of like actually play it like a game. Particle effects is fun. I like that. Let's turn it on. I'll show you what I mean, because if I put it on free play, it'll give me a little shiny thing down at the bottom. Isn't that adorable? Well, listen, that's it. Chordie, the Chordie app, irritating but useful. Synthesia, I've managed to do decent stuff with it, but again, there's downsides to it. Irritating but useful. Neither of them are terribly, expensive apps. But, as an online teacher, you've got to use the tools that are available to you. Well, I hope this has been useful. Like and subscribe and ding the bell. You'll be notified when I do my videos, and I'll see you next time.